The warning lights flashed across the control room of Last Hope Repairs as an unknown ship appeared at the edge of their sensor range. Jack wiped the grease from his hands and looked up at the main screen. In his 15 years of running the station, he had never seen a vessel quite like this one. "Boss, you might want to see this," Mike called from his monitoring station. "The ship's putting out some weird energy readings. Definitely not human tech." Jack walked over, his worn boots making soft thuds against the metal floor. The readings on the screen made his eyebrows rise. The energy signature was off the charts, but something was wrong. The pattern was erratic, showing signs of serious malfunction. "Send them the standard greeting," Jack said, straightening his oil-stained uniform. He knew first impressions mattered, even if his station wasn't the prettiest sight in human space. The response came quickly, but not in any language Jack had ever heard. The universal translator took a few seconds to process it, finally producing words that made his eyes widen. "Emergency stop required. Critical systems failure imminent. Requesting immediate assistance." Jack hit the station-wide comm. "All hands, this is not a drill. We've got our first alien customer, and they're in trouble. Clear Bay 3 and prep for emergency docking." The massive ship limped into view, its sleek purple metal hull making their station look like ancient junk in comparison. Yet for all its advanced appearance, the vessel was barely maintaining its approach vector. As the ship entered the docking bay, Jack got his first good look at their unexpected visitors. The alien captain stood nearly 7 feet tall, with metallic-looking skin and 4 arms. Despite their impressive appearance, their posture showed clear signs of worry. "Welcome to Last Hope Repairs," Jack said, trying to sound professional despite his excitement. "I'm Jack, the chief engineer." The alien captain looked down at him, their expression unreadable. "I am first commander of the merchant vessel Star Dancer. We require immediate assistance. Though," they paused, looking around at the decidedly low-tech appearance of the bay, "I must express concern about your facility's capability to handle our advanced systems." Jack kept his face neutral, used to being underestimated. "Why don't you tell me what's wrong, and we can go from there?" "Our quantum drive began showing irregularities 3 cycles ago. The AI diagnostic system cannot identify the cause, and our automated repair units have failed to resolve the issue. Without repairs, we will be stranded in this sector." Jack nodded, already moving toward the ship. "Mind if I take a look? Sometimes fresh eyes see things computers miss." The commander hesitated but gestured agreement. As Jack entered the engine room, he was struck by its complexity. Holographic displays showed countless systems he'd never seen before, all flashing warning signals in alien script. But something else caught his attention. A sound, a slight whining noise that seemed out of place. "Your AI system's been checking the quantum systems, right?" Jack asked, moving closer to the sound. "Naturally, all higher functions have been thoroughly analyzed." Jack smiled, pulling out his oldest and most reliable tool, a simple mechanical stethoscope. The aliens watched in confusion as he pressed it against various parts of the engine housing. "Found it," he said after a few minutes. "You've got a worn-out bearing in your primary coolant pump. It's causing vibrations that are throwing off your whole system. Your AI probably ignored it because it's too simple to be the cause of such a big problem." The commander's 4 arms moved in what might have been disbelief. "Impossible. A mere mechanical fault cannot be the source of our quantum drive failure." "Want to bet?" Jack grinned, pulling his toolkit closer. "Give me 2 hours. If I'm wrong, no charge." The aliens watched in fascination as Jack worked, using what must have seemed like primitive tools to them. He hummed an old Earth tune as he carefully replaced the worn bearing, his experienced hands making quick work of the task. When he finished, the engine's whine was gone. The warning lights on the holographic displays began turning green one by one. Quantum drive stability restored to optimal levels. The ship's AI announced. "All systems normal." The commander stared at Jack, then at the simple bearing he had replaced. "How did you know?" Jack shrugged, wiping his hands on his uniform. "Sometimes the biggest problems have the simplest solutions. You just have to be willing to get your hands dirty to find them." As the alien crew prepared to leave, the commander approached Jack one final time. "We will inform others of your unique capabilities. Expect more visitors." Jack watched the magnificent ship depart, a smile playing on his lips. He had a feeling this was just the beginning of something big for Last Hope Repairs. He was right. 3 months after fixing the Star Dancer, Jack stood in his office, staring at the line of alien ships waiting outside his repair station. The view screen showed vessels of all shapes and sizes, their designs more exotic than anything he'd seen in engineering manuals. "That's the 5th quantum drive problem this week," Mike said, walking into the office with a fresh cup of coffee. "They're all asking for you by name, boss." Jack rubbed his tired eyes. The station hadn't seen this much activity in all its years of operation. "We need help. I can't keep up with all these repairs alone." As if answering his prayers, the station's communication system beeped. A familiar face appeared on the screen. Tom Miller, Jack's old mentor from the Earth shipyards. "Heard you've become famous with the aliens," Tom said, his weathered face breaking into a grin. "Thought you might need an extra pair of hands." Jack couldn't believe his luck. Tom was the one who had taught him to trust his ears and hands over fancy diagnostic tools. "When can you start?" "I'm already packed. Just need docking clearance for my shuttle." 2 days later, Tom proved his worth when an alien luxury cruise ship arrived with its artificial gravity failing. While the ship's AI insisted the problem was in the gravity generators, Tom noticed something different. "Look at these power readings," he said, pointing to his old-fashioned multimeter. "The generators are fine. It's the power distribution that's wrong." Jack watched as Tom traced the power lines through the ship's hull, using nothing more than his meter and decades of experience. The alien crew followed behind, their expressions a mix of doubt and curiosity. "Here's your problem," Tom announced, stopping at a junction box. "Power regulators out of alignment. Probably got knocked loose during that meteor shower you mentioned." The alien chief engineer, a tall being with crystalline skin, looked skeptical. "Our diagnostic systems would have detected such a simple fault." "Sometimes the fanciest computers miss what plain experience can spot," Tom said, already pulling out his tools. "Mind if I show you?" An hour later, the gravity was back to normal. The alien engineer watched in amazement as Tom explained how he had found the problem. "Your systems are designed to look for complex failures," Tom explained, sketching a simple diagram on his notepad. "But sometimes it's the basic things that cause the biggest troubles. That's why we humans still believe in hands-on maintenance." Word of their success spread even faster after that. Last Hope Repairs became known as the place where primitive humans could fix problems that stumped the most advanced AI systems. One evening, as Jack and Tom were finishing their shift, a small alien scout ship arrived. Its pilot, a member of a highly advanced race, seemed embarrassed to be there. "Our technicians said the problem was unfixable," the pilot admitted. "But another trader told me about this place. Said you humans have a different way of looking at things." Jack smiled, remembering his first alien customer. "We just believe in keeping things simple. Want to show us what's wrong?" The pilot led them to the engine room. Tom took one look at the setup and chuckled. "Well, there's your problem. They've got so many automated systems, they're fighting each other. Sometimes you need less technology, not more." As they worked to simplify the ship's systems, Jack noticed more alien engineers watching them, taking notes. Some even asked questions about their primitive repair techniques. "You know what's funny?" Tom said as they watched the scout ship leave. "These aliens can travel between stars, but they've forgotten the basics. Sometimes the old ways are the best ways." Jack nodded, looking at the growing list of ships waiting for repairs. "Maybe that's why they need us. We haven't forgotten how to fix things with our own hands." As if to prove his point, Another distress call came in. This time, it was from a military vessel. Jack and Tom exchanged glances, knowing their reputation was about to be tested in ways they never imagined. The military vessel appeared without warning, its massive hull dwarfing every other ship near Last Hope repairs. Even damaged, it was an impressive sight, sleek, dark, and bristling with weapon ports. Emergency lights pulsed along its side, signaling critical system failures. "That's a Blue Star Federation warship," Mike said, his voice tense. "Their ships almost never leave their own space." Jack watched as the ship struggled to maintain position. Its movements were jerky, suggesting serious problems with its control systems. "Open a channel." The face that appeared on the screen belonged to Captain Reed, a tall alien with metallic scales and eyes that glowed like dying stars. "This is the BSF Warrior's Pride. We have critical system failures. Our life support is failing, and we have 3,000 crew members aboard." Jack felt the weight of those lives settle on his shoulders. "How long do you have?" "Less than 6 hours before life support fails completely. Our automated systems are unable to correct the problem." The captain's pride seemed to crack slightly. "We've heard of your facility's unique abilities." "Bring her in slowly," Jack said, already reaching for the station-wide comm. "Bay 1, clear everything. Tom, meet me there. This is going to be big." The docking procedure was nerve-wracking. The massive warship barely fit into their largest bay, its hull scraping against the safety barriers. As soon as it was secure, Jack and Tom rushed aboard, followed by their best technicians. The ship's interior was chaos. Emergency lights flashed everywhere, and the air already felt thin. Alien crew members rushed back and forth, their movements becoming sluggish as the oxygen levels dropped. "Show us your life support control center," Tom said, his old hands already pulling out his trusted tools. The ship's chief engineer, a younger alien who looked like a junior version of the captain, led them through the corridors. "Our AI systems say the quantum atmospheric processors are malfunctioning, but they can't identify the cause. We've tried every repair protocol in our database." Jack and Tom exchanged glances. They'd seen this before, over-reliance on AI and automated systems. "When did the problem start?" Jack asked, studying the holographic displays that filled the control room. "After our last battle. We took some hits, but the automated repair systems said they fixed everything." Tom was already moving around the room, pressing his old stethoscope against various panels. Jack pulled out his handheld scanner. Not as advanced as the ship's systems, but sometimes simpler was better. "Found something," Tom called out. "The main air recycling unit is vibrating wrong." Jack checked the backup systems. Jack moved to another panel, his scanner beeping. "They're all offline. The AI shut them down to divert power to the quantum processors." "That's standard procedure," the alien engineer said. "The quantum systems are more efficient." "Maybe," Tom said, pulling off an access panel, "but they're also more complex. Look here, the main unit's power coupling is cracked. Probably happened during the battle. The quantum processors are trying to compensate, but they're burning themselves out." Jack was already moving. "We need to shut down the quantum processors and restart the mechanical backup systems. They're less efficient, but they'll work." "Shut down the quantum processors." The alien engineer looked shocked. "That's against all our protocols." "Your protocols are about to kill 3,000 people," Jack said firmly. "Sometimes you need to trust old-fashioned engineering." Captain Reed's voice came over the intercom. "Do it." For the next 4 hours, Jack and Tom led their team in what looked like a step backward in technology. They bypassed the quantum processors, reactivated the mechanical air scrubbers, and patched the power systems. It wasn't pretty, but with each passing minute, the air quality improved. "Life support stabilizing," the ship's AI announced, sounding almost surprised. "Atmosphere returning to normal parameters." Captain Reed appeared in the control room, looking at the hybrid system of advanced technology and basic engineering that now kept his crew alive. "You saved my ship by making it less advanced." "We made it more reliable," Jack corrected. "Sometimes the best solution isn't the most complicated one." As the captain left to check on his crew, Tom wiped his hands on his coveralls. "You know what this means, don't you?" Jack nodded. Once word got out that they'd saved a Blue Star Federation warship, everything was going to change. But for now, he just smiled, watching the life support readings climb back to normal. 2 days after saving the Warrior's Pride, Jack and Tom stood in the warship's engine room, surrounded by curious alien engineers. Captain Reed had requested they perform a complete evaluation of the ship's systems before it departed. "Your quantum systems are impressive," Jack said, pointing to the holographic displays. "But they're vulnerable. One hit in the wrong place, and the whole thing fails." He turned to Tom, who was sketching on his tablet. "Show them what we're thinking." Tom held up the tablet, displaying a simple diagram. "We can install mechanical backup systems for all your critical functions. They won't be as efficient as your quantum technology, but they'll keep you alive when everything else fails." The alien engineers looked skeptical. One of them, a senior officer named First Engineer, spoke up. "These mechanical systems seem primitive." "Sometimes primitive is exactly what you need," Jack replied, walking over to a wall panel. "Look here. Your automated repair systems are amazing, but they only work when the power's on. What happens when you lose power completely?" The aliens exchanged uncomfortable glances. The recent crisis had exposed this exact weakness. Tom pulled out an old manual air pump from his toolkit. "This little device could have kept your crew breathing for hours, even with no power." Sometimes the simplest solutions are the most reliable. Over the next few hours, Jack and Tom led the alien engineers through their proposed modifications. They showed how to install manual overrides, backup mechanical systems, and emergency protocols that didn't rely on AI or quantum technology. "Think of it like this," Jack explained, hands deep in the ship's systems. "Your quantum tech is like a professional athlete, powerful, efficient, but vulnerable to injury. These mechanical backups are like a sturdy walker, not as fast or impressive, but they'll get you home when you're hurt." Captain Reed arrived as they were finishing the installation of a mechanical backup for the life support system. He watched in fascination as Tom demonstrated how it could be operated with simple hand cranks in an emergency. "Our engineers have always focused on making systems more advanced," Reed said, studying the simple but effective design. "We never considered going backward." "It's not going backward," Jack corrected, wiping grease from his hands. "It's adding another layer of safety, like carrying a spare tire even though your car has self-sealing wheels." The captain nodded slowly, understanding dawning in his glowing eyes. "This could change everything. Our entire fleet could benefit from these modifications." As word spread through the ship, more alien crew members came to watch the humans work. They were amazed to see how simple mechanical systems could serve as reliable backups to their advanced technology. "The key is redundancy," Tom explained to a group of young alien engineers. "Your quantum systems are perfect when they work, but when they fail, you need something simple and reliable to fall back on." By the time they finished, the Warrior's Pride had been transformed. It still had all its advanced systems, but now it also had mechanical backups for life support, navigation, and basic propulsion. "We've uploaded the modification plans to your database," Jack told Captain Reed. "Your engineers can implement these changes across your fleet." Reed's metallic scales shimmered with what looked like respect. "You humans have taught us something valuable. The most advanced solution isn't always the best solution." As the massive warship prepared to depart, Tom turned to Jack with a grin. "You know what the best part is. These changes are so simple, they can't go wrong. Sometimes, the old ways really are the best ways." Jack watched the ship's quantum engines power up, knowing that beneath all that advanced technology now be a heart of simple, reliable human engineering. It wasn't just about fixing ships anymore. They were changing how an entire civilization thought about technology. "Send us more ships," Jack called over the comm as the Warriors' Pride prepared to leave. "We'll teach them all how to be a little more human." 1 month after the Warriors' Pride departed, Jack sat in his office watching a holographic news broadcast from across the galaxy. The image showed dozens of human repair stations, all bustling with alien ships. "Look at this," he called to Tom, who was reviewing repair schedules. "They're opening human repair schools on 3 alien worlds." The broadcast showed alien students learning to use manual tools, practicing with mechanical systems, and studying the basics of human engineering. Their multiple arms, tentacles, or appendages all held familiar tools: wrenches, screwdrivers, and manual diagnostic devices. "Never thought I'd see the day," Tom chuckled, "when advanced aliens would want to learn our primitive ways." The station's communication system beeped. A message appeared from the Blue Star Federation. Captain Reed's face filled the screen, his metallic scales gleaming. "Jack, Tom," he greeted them warmly. "The mechanical backup systems you installed saved another ship yesterday. A cargo vessel lost all power near a solar storm. Their quantum systems failed, but the manual backups kept the crew alive until help arrived." Jack smiled, remembering how skeptical the aliens had been about those primitive backup systems. "How's the fleet-wide upgrade going?" "Every ship is being retrofitted with human-style backup systems, but that's not why I called." Reed's expression turned serious. "The Galactic Engineering Council wants to meet with you. Both of you." Tom dropped his tablet. The Council was the highest engineering authority in known space. They set standards for everything from ship design to space station construction. "They want to learn about human engineering principles," Reed continued. "Your methods are changing how we think about spacecraft safety." Over the next few days, more reports came in. Human repair techniques were spreading faster than anyone had expected. Ships equipped with mechanical backups were surviving accidents that would have been fatal before. The simple solutions were proving their worth. Mike burst into the office one morning, waving his datapad. "Boss, you need to see this. Other human repair stations are starting to copy our methods. The Wilson station near Alpha Centauri just saved a cruise ship using our backup system designs." Jack watched the security footage from Wilson station. Human engineers there had taught the alien crew how to hand-crank their life support system during a power failure. It wasn't elegant, but it had kept 500 passengers alive. "It's not just about repairs anymore," Tom said, looking thoughtful. "We're teaching them a whole new way of thinking. Well, actually an old way of thinking." The station's main viewing screen showed the repair bay below, where human engineers worked alongside alien apprentices. They were learning from each other. Humans studying advanced technology while aliens discovered the value of simple solutions. "Remember when they used to call us primitive?" Jack asked, watching an alien engineer excitedly show a human colleague how to safely bypass a quantum power coupling. "Now they're calling us brilliant," Tom replied. "Funny how things change." The day's repair list appeared on Jack's screen. Among the usual repairs were requests for mechanical backup installations, manual override systems, and training sessions for alien crews. "You know what this means," Jack said, looking at the growing list. "Humans aren't just fixing ships anymore. We're making the galaxy a safer place, one repair at a time." A small alert popped up on his screen, another distress call. But this one was different. An alien repair station was asking for help. They wanted to learn how to combine human reliability with their advanced technology. "Well," Tom said with a grin, grabbing his toolkit, "should we show them how it's done?" Jack nodded, already heading for the door. The revolution they had started was just beginning. Soon, every ship in the galaxy would carry a piece of human ingenuity. Simple, reliable systems that could save lives when all else failed. As they walked to their shuttle, Jack thought about how far they'd come. From a small repair station on the edge of human space to changing the way an entire galaxy thought about engineering. Sometimes the biggest changes start with the simplest ideas. The warning sirens blared through Last Hope repairs as a luxury passenger ship limped toward the station. Its quantum core was giving off dangerous readings that made every sensor flash red. "That's the third emergency this week," Mike said, checking the readings. "And they're all the same type of quantum core failure. Something's not right." Jack and Tom stood at the control room window, watching as the damaged ship was guided into the repair bay. Both men had been working double shifts lately, handling a sudden surge of severe breakdowns. "Look at this," Tom said, pointing to his scanner. "The quantum core's containment field is failing, but the damage pattern is too clean. This wasn't an accident." Before Jack could respond, the station's main screen lit up. A tall, elegant alien appeared, wearing the expensive robes of a corporate executive. Behind him, the logo of MaxTech Repairs, the largest alien repair corporation in the galaxy, floated in holographic splendor. "Greetings, Last Hope Repairs," the alien said, his voice smooth but cold. "I am Director First of MaxTech. I've come to make you an offer." Jack crossed his arms. "We're a bit busy with emergency repairs right now." "Ah yes, all these unfortunate accidents." Director First's expression didn't change. "How terrible it must be for your primitive facility to handle such complex quantum failures. Perhaps it would be better to send these ships to more advanced repair stations." Tom's eyes narrowed. "You mean like MaxTech stations?" "Precisely. After all, we wouldn't want any more unfortunate accidents to damage our customer ships." The threat in his voice was clear. Jack stepped forward. "Are you saying MaxTech is responsible for these accidents?" The alien director smiled, showing metallic teeth. "I'm saying that mixing primitive human methods with advanced technology can be dangerous. The smart choice would be to close your facility and let us handle these repairs." "Not going to happen," Jack said firmly. "Now, if you'll excuse us, we have ships to fix." The screen went dark, but Jack knew this wasn't over. He turned to his team. "Alert all incoming ships to watch for signs of tampering. And get me the security footage from the damaged vessels. We need to find proof." Hours later, while working on the luxury ship's quantum core, Tom made a discovery. "Jack, look at this." The containment field didn't fail on its own. Someone reprogrammed it to overload. Jack examined the corrupted code. It was clever, designed to look like a normal malfunction. But there was something else, something the saboteurs hadn't counted on. "They disabled the quantum safety systems," Jack said, "but they didn't know about our mechanical backups." He pointed to a simple pressure gauge they had installed. This little device recorded the whole thing. It shows the exact moment the core was tampered with. Tom grinned. Good old-fashioned engineering beats high-tech sabotage. They worked through the night, not just fixing the damaged ship but gathering evidence. The mechanical sensors they had installed on previous repairs proved to be perfect witnesses, simple devices that couldn't be hacked or reprogrammed. As morning approached, Captain Reed's face appeared on the command screen. "We received your evidence about MaxTech. The Galactic Engineering Council is very interested." Jack nodded tiredly. "Good, but we're not done yet. MaxTech's going to try something bigger. They can't let humans succeed. It ruins their whole business model." As if on cue, a new emergency signal appeared. A massive cargo ship was approaching, its quantum core showing signs of catastrophic failure. "This is it," Tom said, checking his tools. "They're sending us something they think we can't fix." Jack looked at his team, then at the approaching ship. MaxTech had made a crucial mistake. They thought human engineering was primitive, limited, but they were about to learn that the simplest solutions were often the strongest. "Let's show them what human ingenuity can really do," he said, heading for the repair bay. The real test was about to begin. The cargo ship's quantum core pulsed with dangerous energy as it was guided into Last Hope Repair's largest bay. Emergency lights flashed throughout the station, and radiation warnings blared from every sensor. MaxTech really outdid themselves this time. Tom said, studying the readings. They've rigged the core to go critical if anyone tries to shut it down the normal way. Jack nodded, watching as his repair teams evacuated nearby sections of the station. They think we'll try to use advanced systems to fix it. That's exactly what they want us to do. The ship's captain, a nervous alien with translucent skin, approached them. Our sensors say we have less than 2 hours before total core failure. Maxtech's repair stations are too far away to reach in time. Good thing we're not going to need 2 hours, Jack said, pulling out his oldest toolkit. Tom, remember that old reactor we worked on back on Earth? The one that lost all its safety systems. Tom's eyes lit up. You want to do it the old way? That's crazy enough to work. They gathered their team, explaining the plan. It was simple, so simple that the alien engineers watching them looked horrified. You can't just bypass a quantum core's control systems, one of them protested. The computational requirements alone would. We're not going to compute anything, Jack interrupted. We're going to feel it. Over the next hour, they worked with practiced precision. Instead of trying to interface with the sabotaged quantum systems, they attached manual pressure gauges and old-fashioned temperature sensors to key points around the core. Watch and learn, Tom told the bewildered alien engineers. He pressed his hand against a cooling pipe, eyes closed. Feel that vibration. That's your core telling us exactly what's wrong. Jack moved among the systems, using simple tools and basic physics to gradually bring the core's energy levels down. No computers, no quantum calculations, just pure engineering instinct backed by years of experience. The alien engineers watched in amazement as the core's dangerous pulsing began to steady. Their own instruments, designed to interface with quantum systems, couldn't even detect what the humans were doing. It's like a symphony, Jack explained as he worked. Every machine has its own rhythm. Once you learn to feel it, you don't need fancy computers to tell you what's wrong. Suddenly, the main screen lit up. Director First's face appeared, looking smug. I see you're attempting to repair the core. I should warn you, any attempt to interface with the quantum systems will trigger an immediate. He stopped, staring in confusion at the humans working with their simple tools. What are you doing? We're fixing your sabotage, Jack said without looking up. But not the way you expected. Tom, how's that pressure reading? Steady as a rock, boss. Core temperature dropping to normal levels. Director First's expression changed from smugness to disbelief as his carefully planned trap fell apart. The humans weren't fighting his quantum-level sabotage. They were simply working around it. Impossible, he whispered. Our simulations showed. That's your problem, Tom said, grinning. You can't simulate human ingenuity. As the core stabilized, Captain Reed's face replaced Director First's on the screen. The Galactic Engineering Council has seen everything. Maxtech's sabotage is exposed, and they've been banned from repair operations in all major sectors. But Jack was already focusing on something else. Look at this, he said, pointing to the now stable quantum core. We can improve the design. Add some simple mechanical interlocks that would prevent this kind of sabotage forever. The next day, as news spread across the galaxy, ships began arriving at Last Hope repairs in even greater numbers. But they weren't just coming for repairs anymore. They were coming to learn. You've changed everything, Captain Reed told them during the official ceremony. The Council is establishing a new division, the Human Engineering Institute. We want your methods taught throughout the galaxy. Jack looked at Tom, then at their team of humans and aliens working together, combining the best of both worlds. You know what the best part is, he said. We're just getting started. In the repair bay below, a young alien engineer was teaching the human colleague about quantum mechanics, while nearby, a human technician demonstrated the proper use of a wrench. The future of galactic engineering would be built on both, the advanced and the simple, working in perfect harmony. Sometimes the greatest victories come not from being the most advanced, but from remembering the basics that got you there in the first place.